to do just a 3-minute deconstruction of this piece because, it's really quite an absurd piece. If you think about it, you're starting in the deepest pit of hell. CSI Vienna, right? Right? And a page and a half later, you're doing this. So it's rock and robin. So how does Mozart sell you on that? It really, if you think about it, it should be the worst piece of music ever written. And it doesn't matter how many times I hear it, I'm always convinced that it's the right place to go. And you notice that the transition from the darkness to the light is this. And then, now that's somebody who's really sure that the light is the right place to go. He's so convinced he can do it without a transition. It's done through silence. It really is a leap of faith. And he truly believed. I think Mozart is our greatest case of arrested development that we've ever had. And he never loses the inner child. He can always go there. It's an amazing thing. He starts off, a few things just about how he gets this rolling, because it's, I think, an amazing start. First thing he knows is that the fortepiano, the bass, is very sinister when you have notes alone down there. Listen to that. It's actually much more demonic than the modern piano's same note. Like that. And he lets this thing grow, And then the best note of all is this one, I think. It just lets you know that everyone on the stage will be dead in an hour, It's like, they're not going to make it, How can he be so spooky and so elegant at the same time? Think about that, Now he pulls it into the middle, and then after this 4 a.m. moment, that's the coldest part of the night, there's a sunrise with birds. And I think he's trying to say, it won't be so bad. It's okay. The birds it'll be all right. And that's a sucker punch because there's one more note. Like that. Right. Now, and what I'm trying to get at is that he's really pulling you both ways between despair and hope. And like any great play, you have to get caught up in the first scene or it's going nowhere. A Hamlet, Act 1, Scene 1, you just don't know which way to go, who to trust, what to do, and that's how he sets it up. That gives the stage to his favorite singer, the diva, up in the stratosphere in D minor. And she's a diva, so her problems are your problems, right? Complete with Bump in the Night. Only the woodwinds. Stealing from Don Giovanni here. This is where the statue comes to take Don Giovanni away. And only a piano can give you the migraine that is required here. It's no longer harpsichord music because you have to have a hammer to get that in your head. Up on the stage, but the alto with the same problem that the soprano has. Here she is. But of course, she gets no respect, It's the alto, And you're back, and it's a long story. But I think this is the Don Giovanni Reader's Digest version. Because remember at the end of Don Giovanni, when he is sucked into hell because he won't repent, you get all of that. when he's pulled down to hell, at the end of Don Giovanni, all the middle class folks come out on the edge of the stage and go. I mean, what is that? You know? The 18th century was very interested in how the light and the dark met each other. I think this is the ultimate piece between those two elements, and Mozart does it with such conviction. So anyway, it was a short précis of that. I guess one more thing about balance. You know, the 18th century, not only the light and the dark balance, but all the buildings were balanced. You look at the buildings; they're always symmetrical. You know, for everything strong, there has to be something weak. Watch how Mozart, at the end of this, after his little show-off moment. He's going to have this big, strong statement, which has to be balanced like that. That's the consummate 18th century gesture. And Mozart did not actually finish this piece. Some editor in the 19th century. So we don't know what he did. He probably went on for 40 minutes. In D major with trumpets and drums and triumph. I'll do one last little fun piece. It's the Rondo and the Turkish style.